Habari Gani. Habari Gani. What's the news? Kujichagulia. Kujichagulia. Self-determination. Welcome back to my channel. Queen Osset here. Today is the second day of Kwanzaa, and today we are talking about Kujichagulia, our self-determination. So, today you will fill your unity cup. You will relight the black candle, and then you will light the first candle to the right, meaning you will light a red candle. And then you would invite everyone around you, or you would think for yourself or do some journaling to define what does self-determination mean for you. And of course we have a spread again that my dear Veronica created for this time. So let's get to it. 7 cards, and again I'm going to use some oracle cards and some additional words of wisdom. So principle number 2, Kujichagulia, principle of self-determination. What does that mean? What does that mean for us? How do you define yourself? This is for many of us who are Black, African American, West Indian, defining ourselves, renaming ourselves, speaking for ourselves, and planning for ourselves. Kujichagulia. So, the first card today is the most prominent history I carry with me. I'm going to put down the cards. 7 cards. Second card is the traditional foundations that inform my life. Third card, how I prioritize, how I primarily define myself. I need some new glasses. Fourth card, my inner authentic self. My inner authentic name, rather. How I create for myself. How I speak for myself. And my higher aspiration. Again, I'm going to try to make this even. Glare. Okay, so the first card is the most prominent history I carry within me. That is my 9 of Pentacles. That definitely speaks to self-determination, does it not? This is my most prominent history. This is what's to the forefront of where I am right now. 2020 going into 2021. Self-made, tenacious. I've built some things in spite of this challenging year. I have still managed to grow and prosper. So that is the most prominent history that I carry within me right now. Traditional foundations that inform me. Yes, the devil. Well, restrictions, traditions. It is those restrictive traditions that have formed me the desire to break free, to release myself from the imprisonment. It is um, because of those things that I fully embrace this right now, not needing to rest on what should be or how others would define me, releasing myself from those traditional foundations. Third card, how I primarily define myself. How do I primarily define myself? Ace of Pentacles. And it shows up again. This was yesterday's card as an outcome card. So yesterday's outcome, moving forward, now with the Ace of Discs today, how do I define myself? Ace of Pentacles for me is it's an energy of one who's always ready for new beginnings, having the seeds, being ready to plant those seeds. Tangible beginnings are important to me. This is not pie in the sky dreaming that's in place. How do I define myself? By accepting what's being offered to me from my higher self, from the one that I believe in. Not this that wants to restrain me and restrict me by those traditions, but something even more powerful, higher than that, offering to me, gifting me, and being ready to take it. That's how I define myself. Being connected to a greater source, a more powerful source, to provide me with the seeds and the ideas and the strength and the tenacity for me to have gotten to this place. Not this. Unfortunately, this hasn't gotten me anywhere. But I had to be there to recognize that it hasn't gotten me much of anywhere. I'm going to say that. It hasn't gotten me much of anywhere. We tend to outgrow things. Once we free ourselves from this, we can move forward. Fourth question, my inner authentic name. Well, there you go. Do I need an explanation? The Queen of Cups, my inner authentic name is, I don't need to explain what that is. If you know me and you've been watching my channel, then that pretty much is self-explanatory as the Queen of Cups. Even though I'm a fire sign and I have very little water in my astrological chart, I have been known to be the Queen of Cups, full of compassion, spiritually evolved, psychically developed, and I do like that her dress is opening. From my perspective, I'm looking at the screen, it looks like she's standing on stilts. But I'm going to take a closer look. And that's her dress. Opening. Built myself upon a solid, unshakable foundation. My inner name. How I create for myself. Again, with this Pentacles energy coming in. Look at that. It's the Seven of Pentacles. How? How do I create for myself? I just said, by taking the seeds that are offered to me and planting them, nurturing them, being patient, not rushing the process. That's how I create for myself, knowing that my abundance will come as long as I tend to my garden. make the investments in myself. How do I speak for myself? Well, there you go. Like, damn, that's my birth card. Strength. How do I speak for myself? Do you need an explanation for that? How? Like the lion that I am. Without fear, but with love, fortitude and strength and security, being greatly supported by that of which I hold a high regard. This is how I speak for myself. I speak from a place of strength, truth, and clarity, because I know who and what I am. A lion does not need to prove itself. There is honor between these two energies here. I speak for myself by walking in my truth, doing what I say I'm going to do, holding myself to a high standard, following through with my words, keeping my words, keeping my promises. And the final card, my highest aspiration, the Emperor. Well, make those plans, get those foundations in place. After being released from that, new plans, new foundations, new boundaries. My highest aspiration. A lot of, well, 1, 2, 3 majors here out of 7. Well, you know, I am a Leo, and I am called Queen of Set. And my highest aspiration is for everyone around me and within my kingdom to feel safe, secure, happy, loved. That is my highest aspiration. To create a world where we are all accepting of each other. Okay, so like yesterday, I'm going to pull some dragon energy. Let's see how we can get into that place of Kujichagulia, self-determination. Again, lighting the pilot. You know, we've been stuck at home for quite some time. Many of us. Maybe we don't feel motivated. We just want 2021 to come in. We're hopeful that 2021 will come in with, to be clean and clear so we can be off and running. But I'm going to tell you, at 12:01, we're still going to be here. It's going to be up to you. Green Gold Dragon from Sirius. Bring universal knowledge to your spiritual pathway. Learn about spiritual technology and be a transmitter of sacred knowledge. That's the dragon energy for us to tap into. So let me see what he says. My green gold dragon is from, remember I explained earlier that they're from different places? Green gold. That there were several dimensions. 4th dimension, not part of that. 5th dimension. Green gold. 5th dimension. 7th dimension. Part of the 7th dimension. Okay, this is the 2nd 7th dimension. Let's take a look. See what we get out of here. These dragons are cosmic travelers, and like all dragons, help us move through the dimensions. In addition, they will guide and protect us on our interdimensional journeys between Earth and other parts of the universe. Drawing this card suggests that you invite these luminous beings to swirl around you, touching your chakras with the sacred geometry of the universe. Then ask them to tune you into any aspect of higher knowledge you can bring forward now. Sit quietly and allow this to happen. You may receive a download of information. For those of you who are thinking about learning tarot or working with cards or developing your divinatory practices, this may be a time for you to step up, step in. Don't be afraid. Try everything. Be curious about all forms of divination. This is a very powerful dragon. So notice subtle changes in your thoughts and attitudes. Pay attention to your dreams. No, this is the energy, and it's green as well. Green speaks of the heart for me, but also the pentacles. So we have to get out of that emotional place and make tangible moves, make real moves, make things happen. We have to get beyond this dreaming. I wish things would happen. I wish this would happen. Now we have to do something to make it happen. Okay? And let's see. The goddess that is here to help us. Goddess of balance. I express my needs and feelings openly and honestly. Akbala is the Igbo goddess of hills and caves. Okay? When we have the courage to own our feelings, we feel more in harmony with the world around us. Receive this thought with the balanced energy of Akbala, Igbo goddess of the hills. Do you feel comfortable with your emotions? What are the ways that you reject your own feelings of joy and sadness? How does it feel to say what you mean and mean what you say? And the final question that I'm going to ask you, if you're still with me, I'm going to put this card holder right here. Food for thought. Kujichagulia. Self-determination. Give you a final question here. What's your first impression of me? Remember Kujichagulia? What was one of the principles, one of the ideas of Kujichagulia is me renaming myself. But I'm going to ask you as the viewer, what's your first impression of me? Maybe you want to ask your friends. So, Habari Gani, Kujichagulia. Stay beautiful, stay blessed.